and welcome to Ogun State Weekly. I am Henry Ogunjimi.
And I am BC Adebayo.
On today's edition, Governor Ibikunle Amosun charges State Executive Council members on increased voter education against the backdrop of challenging continuous voter registration exercise in the state.
All the achievements of my administration are results of the legacy of exemplary leadership handed down to me from great leaders. Now, those were the words of Governor Ibikunle Amosun when former Vice President Atiku Abubakar paid him a visit in Abeokuta. And in 30 years of its existence, the Ogun State Properties Investment Corporation says its greatest successes have come in the last 3.5 years, especially with the current administration's drive in revolutionizing housing in the state. And just before we bring you those details, our special focus for this week spotlights what the Amosun administration is doing to bring potable water to the people of Ogun State. Do enjoy it.
The administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun, since inception, has left no one in doubt of its commitment to infrastructural development. In a recent town hall meeting with citizens of Ogun State, after his assessment tours, Governor Amosun was able to state his achievements and areas for improvement. In water supply, the state government support has been remarkable.
Once we are able to all these our new roads, we are changing those big pipe now, so that even the water will run. So we are finishing what we call the primary. We are now doing the secondary. Look at people on the Jai axis. They will not have water yet. That's why we are doing this makeshift one for them. Because those big pipes will now have another one that's not as big that will now lead it to the various. Then we now do the tertiary that will now lead to individual houses. So all the main ones we are finished on all our roads, and that's why the road can be in place.
Whilst availability of raw water resources ranks amongst the highest challenges to regular water supply in many parts of the world, Ogun State is endowed with a high-yielding water source, complemented with fast-flowing coastal rivers that empties into the lagoons. The most important of these rivers is the Ogun River. The mandate for urban water supply in the state rests squarely on the shoulders of the state-owned Ogun State Water Corporation, with the Ministry of Special Duties being the policy formulation clearinghouse and oversight provider for the sector.
With this present administration, a lot is being pumped into production of water because we have a standard in Ogun State, and we believe that health is wealth. So we want to make sure we give the people of Ogun State the best we can.
On a monthly basis, the government spent well over 100 million naira on the production of water since the inception of this present government. People of Ogun State will never take anything short of water corporation water.
There are 15 major waterworks with surface water supply and boreholes, 30 mini waterworks and 8 micro waterworks, making a total of 53 water schemes supplying water across the state.
These schemes service up to Oshiele, Ladering, Adigbe, and so many others. Aside from this one, we have Ijebu-Ode water scheme, we have Ishagamu, we have water scheme, we have Aye Toro water scheme, we have Ogere water scheme.
How many altogether in Ogun State?
We have 54 water schemes that we manage.
To provide effective water supply in the state, Governor Amosun has introduced strategies that restructure the corporation. He has infused professionals, modernized operations, and established performance-based management techniques. The main point in these reforms is to sustain the existing water supply situation by meeting the recurrent needs of the corporation, whilst providing essential equipment and emergency rehabilitation of some vital schemes. The water supply situation varies dramatically from town to town in Ogun State, and so does the cost of water. In the state capital, most people get water free from public supply and do not see a need to pay for it.
This tap here never goes off. It's a kind of advantage for people around here, like fetch water and do all these kind of things.
The water is very useful to us. I mean, at times I used to think of, even if it is not here, how would we cope? The water is very useful. It's very useful. No, for free. Everything is for free. And it is constant. No, at least in a week, 4 times in a week, and that's very satisfactory.
Actually, it's a public one. It's not meant for a particular house. It's meant for everybody. So nobody is paying any amount of money for it. So you just come down here to fetch the water, then you go. And many people usually come down here to fetch water. They can bring their cars, they can bring bus, They usually come down just because they know that they will get the water.
This has been a big challenge for the government in maintaining the constant supply of water across the state.
People should also respond or reciprocate in terms of their payment. They should not cut corners.
In the pipeline now, we have meters, water meter, being introduced into some areas. This will tell us exactly how much you are consuming. And on that basis, you'll be billed. We keep on appealing to our consumers to do their own bit, that is, pay up these bills we send to them. And when there are wastages, like burst pipes, to make immediate report.
The social nature of water services and the direct impact on both poverty alleviation and health conditions makes such services a priority area for the government.
If people get good potable water, they will spend less on health issue.
That's one of the major challenges we have, electricity. But in most of the areas, we back it up with generators. And that's how we're able to pump out. Now the capacity is about 160. But for now, we managed to push out 82, which service all our people.
It is therefore acknowledged that a large part of the capital investment is needed for the proper development of the state water sector. Donor nations and international agencies are required to assist in attaining this goal of sustainable water supply across Ogun State. Urban roads, bridges and flyovers across the major towns in the state are part of the hallmarks of Senator Ibikunle Amosun in the governance of Ogun State. Towns like Abeokuta, Ijebu-Ode, Ishagam and Songo adore new faces with the new constructions going on. According to Governor Amosun, these flyovers and roads have started to attract huge economic benefits to the state, facilitating the movement of people and goods, as well as improving quality of lives. This is in compliance with his idea of creating an enabling environment for foreign and local investors to tap the massive human and natural resources that abound in the state.
One key denominator, a catalyst that will drive any economy. The infrastructure is also in place. If you want to attract anybody from anywhere in this world, they come to a place that they cannot even pass, then there's a problem. Nobody will want to come. So we need to open up our place. In fact, that has been the major inhibiting factor that has been depriving us of being an economic giant that we should be. But we thank God today, we are Ogun State.
Apart from the aesthetic values these roads and bridges are bringing to the cities, they are built with drainages, median, walkways, and traffic lights. Where the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun is not rehabilitating old roads, it is constructing new ones. Indeed, Ogun State could be described as a huge construction site. Over 400 kilometers of rural roads are being opened up in the 20 local government areas of the state. This is in addition to other major road projects and already completed 6-lane Itaiko-Sokori-Totoro Road and Great Separation Flyover Bridge at Ibara Roundabout, Abeokuta, which is the first of its kind by any administration in the state.
Since then, we've identified more, and I've said this before at different fora. Even if this administration were to spend 8 years in office, which is the 2 terms that the Constitution allows, we cannot finish the infrastructural requirements in Ogun State. Somebody has to take over from whatever we stop and continue, because you find out that the deficit is so much. It's not something that you can finish. You need to have this kind of dedicated focus on infrastructure development for several years. It could take the next 20 years before you bring Ogun State to the level where you now coast, maintain what you have, and maybe have vocational. But then you need to have continuous development this way, maybe for the next another 16 to 20 years with what we've done already. It has to be sustained like that.
The road and the flyover signpost, which is now referred to as the Ogun Standard, is a prototype of its kind, spread all over the state. It is the belief that Ogun Standard roads will be a reference and measurement of the quality of work done elsewhere in the country and beyond. Numerous construction works have generated thousands of jobs for professionals, artisans, suppliers, food vendors, and other related workers. To ensure quality job, His Excellency and his team are on their tour inspecting various road projects, talking with contractors, and meeting with the locals.
By enjoying the road now, the party has already finished, and others are still under construction. Thank God that is going to complete it, and we are expecting it to continue more like that.
There is a lot of road construction going on presently, and it's good. At least they are doing something that we're seeing.